Hey everyone, I'm going to talk about the Epic Gala Sweepstakes, a new program that Gala Games created. I'm going to tell you what you need to know, show you how to participate, explain how to win, break down some numbers, and share my thoughts. Disclaimer before I begin, none of what I say is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and this video is for educational purposes only. The official link for the Gala Sweepstakes page, as well as the articles I will go over in this video, will be linked down in the description. The first article here is going to explain the sweepstakes prize drawing information. I'm just going to read through some of this and talk about the important information. Each week, as Gala is burned throughout the Gala chain ecosystem, a portion of that Gala, specifically 2%, will be spared and set aside, added to the current Epic Gala Sweepstakes prizes. There are specific actions that would cause Gala to be burned, which means removed from the current supply, purchasing a first-party Gala Games item with Gala, paying Gala as a transaction fee for redeeming, transferring, or bridging tokens. Right now that's a 1 Gala fee. Using Gala in any of the Telegram mini app Tapper games, creating or accepting a swap on Gala Connect, and making a Founders Node NFT transfer ready. Right now, every time you spend 100 Gala or burn 100 Gala on those eligible ways, you will receive a ticket with the ability to enter into the sweepstakes. And to do that, you would pick 8 numbers, as you can see in this illustration, and you would have to pay a 10 Gala fee every time you do that. So not only do you have to spend Gala in order to get tickets, you have to spend an extra 10 Gala just to use the ticket. Some people don't realize this and they end up using the tickets and spending some of the Gala they have. At the end of the event, 8 numbers are drawn and the entrants earn Gala based on how many numbers they were able to match from the picked winners, and each weekly drawing will take place at 12 p.m. Pacific time on Wednesday. This part is talking about how for the first few drawings, Gala Games will employ a trusted third-party RNG system for the selection and delivery of the winning numbers, but shortly after launch, they expect to use a decentralized way such as Gala chain-based RNG system to pick the 8 numbers and determine the winners. I thought that was a little bit interesting. I don't know what kind of RNG system they're going to be using at first if it's not Gala chain, which means we won't be able to verify the validity of the first 8 numbers picked on the first couple of drawings. Just thought that was interesting. Once they actually start doing it on Gala chain, I suppose we should be able to see the 8 numbers that were picked on Gala chain and like the actual first 8 numbers that would determine the winner. Right now they're using some kind of third-party RNG system. So for the first drawing, it will have an additional 1 million Gala from the team. That's why the prize pool is just a little bit over 1 million Gala. The rest of the Gala was gotten from 2% of the Gala that was burned during this week. So all the tickets you have will expire if they are not used by the next available drawing, which creates some kind of FOMO or fear of missing out. If you don't use your tickets, they'll be gone basically. There is a way to enter without purchasing anything. This is basically legally required in order to make it a sweepstakes, and I will talk a little bit more about that once I get to the terms and conditions. Not all purchases are able to accrue the tickets, only those that cause Gala to be removed from supply. A list of eligible Gala Games items is available here, which I will show you now. So this is the list of NFTs that you can purchase that would incur a burn, which means 98% of the Gala would be burnt and 2% of the Gala would be spared for the Epic Gala Sweepstakes. These are pretty much just Common Ground World and Vexy Villages NFTs, and anything that may have a rebate will not be included. Now we're going to take a quick look at the Epic Gala Sweepstakes terms and conditions. There's a lot of info here, mostly legal stuff. I'm not going to go over all of it. First of all, the free entry, here it is. There is a way to gain 1 free entry, I assume every week, and in order to do that, you would have to mail in a postcard to this address, and it must include the name Epic Gala Sweepstakes. All postcards must include a wet signature and your public wallet address key, and written for verification purposes. No electronic copies will be accepted. Usually the free entries are so like confusing and not worth wasting your time on, but legally there has to be a free entry for it to be considered a sweepstakes. And once again, about the fee. As a gala chain and no driven experience, each ticket transaction incurs a 10 gala fee to support platform operations. Note that this fee will also be burned, so 2% of that goes back to the prize pool, but it is not applicable for those with free entries. So if you actually did do this to get a free entry, you should not have to pay that 10 gala fee. Otherwise, it wouldn't be free. Here it explains how to win and the prize structure. If you match at least 1 out of the 8 numbers, you are technically considered a winner. This is because you will win 1 free ticket for the next gala sweepstakes. If you match 2 numbers, it says right here that you will receive 1 free ticket for the gala sweepstakes, but I just want to note that right here under prize and taxes, it's saying that you will win 2 free tickets for matching 2 numbers. So both of those are different. I don't understand why. I just wanted to mention that in the video. And right here, if you match at least 3 numbers, you will win a split of the percentage of the prize pool, as you have to split that with everybody else who matched the same amount of numbers. And you can match 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or even 8. And of course, the more you match, the bigger of a split of the prize pool that you will receive. If you're the only one that matched, let's say 8 numbers, you will receive the entire 40% of the prize pool. Once again, tickets are only valid for the next available draw. Unused tickets will expire and cannot be carried forward. So for the eligibility, this is mostly open to the United States with the exception of Florida, New York, Rhode Island, and Tennessee, and the District of Columbia. And promotion also excludes a lot of various countries, including United Kingdom. I'm not going to go over this entire thing, but you would want to check if you are even allowed to participate in this. And if you do win gala, that gala should be delivered within 30 days. And the rest of this is basically legal stuff that you would see in any event. So if you participate, you give them the ability to use your name and your likeness. So if you win something and they want to shout you out and tag you on a Discord post or tag you on X and show your profile name or profile picture, then they are allowed to do that because you agreed, because you are participating. And down here basically says you are not allowed to take them to court for anything that happened while you participate in this program, basically. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to actually participate in this program. You're going to want to go to sweepstakes.gala.com and log in. When you first log in, it's going to ask you to approve a wallet allowance, a token approval, I believe, a burn allowance, something like that. And what that means is it's going to ask if it can burn an unlimited amount of gala. The only way to participate in this is to accept. Basically, what that means is you're giving permission for this program to burn gala. Of course, you would be burning 10 gala for each ticket you redeem. It makes it so you don't have to type in your transfer code for every single ticket you use. So imagine you wanted to use like 100 tickets and you had to type in your transfer code for like every single ticket. That would be very annoying, and I would imagine nobody would want to do that. So instead, they're asking if they can burn an unlimited amount of tokens. That sounds kind of scary, to be honest. It would probably be better if you could set the amount that it can burn, and then after you spend or burn that amount of gala, then you could just set it again. But anyways, you would have to approve that burn allowance in order to actually use this program. You may have received an email, if you can participate in this, saying you got 1 ticket for every 100 gala you burnt in the past. Some people right now probably have a lot of tickets. As you can see down below, I have over 4,000 tickets, and I'm going to be using a few tickets in this video for the demonstration. It does show a live number of the current prize pool, the time before the drawing closes, and the split reward basically for each match. So if you match 3 numbers, you would receive a split of this. You would not receive that whole number. You would just receive a split of this. If 100 people match 3, you would receive 644 Gala. And that's not even a good comparison. We'll get more into that a little later. And this just explains how to play. It's basically all you need to know, to be honest. We're going to click play now, and I can pick the numbers manually. Maybe I just want to pick the first 8 numbers, right? And confirm, and it's going to charge me 10 Gala, and it also shows my current Gala balance. I'm going to submit it. I'm going to take my Gala away. Your picks have been submitted. So if I go back here, it's going to show my ticket number. I am number 43,184. That's how you can see how many tickets have been played currently for this week. And it's going to show the numbers I selected, 1, 2, 8. Maybe I get really lucky here, who knows? And I'm going to do it again. And this time I'm going to show you quick pick. Quick pick just picks 8 random numbers for you, so you don't have to think about it. And then confirm and proceed, pay another 10 Gala, and you could quick pick every single one. If you have a bunch of tickets that you want to quick pick, you can quick pick all of them by clicking this, or up to 1,000 of them. So if I quick pick 1,000 tickets, it's going to pick 1,000 random numbers. And right here, 10 Gala per ticket, it would cost 10,000 Gala. Now I'm not going to do that. I don't think this is worthwhile. And that explains how to participate. As you can see, I have 2 tickets. Those are my numbers right there. That's all I'm going to do. Now I'm going to talk about the numbers. Now, with the help of ChatGPT, I'm going to break down some of the calculations on the odds of winning and potentially how many Gala you could receive. So first of all, I asked ChatGPT about the lottery system and what's the odds of winning, essentially. So it did the whole calculation. I'm not going to explain all that math, don't worry. And right here, it has the percentage odds. And right here, it has a better representation of those odds. So the odds of winning are about 50%. And by that, I mean the odds of matching at least one number, because you would be winning a ticket for the next drawing. For example, if you pay for 1,000 tickets, you would probably win 500 tickets for the next drawing. You would probably want to play those 500 tickets, so that would be another 5,000 Gala. And then the week after, you would probably earn back 250 tickets, and maybe you want to play those and spend another 2,500 Gala. You probably get the point. This system is giving you free tickets so you can continue to burn Gala to participate in it. So 50% chance you don't win, 50% chance you win a ticket. This is assuming you win 1 ticket, even if you match 2. Maybe you win 2 tickets if you match 2. I don't know. That was a little confusing in the terms and conditions. If you match 3, you will win some Gala, and the same goes for matching these 8. But you can see the odds of matching 3 are about 1 in 68. The odds of matching 4, 1 out of 909. The odds of matching 5, 1 out of 26,000. And once you get to 6, 7, and 8 matches, the numbers are insane. They're probably worse than current lotteries out there. So the odds of winning, matching these numbers, I'm not going to actually say the 6 and 7 match numbers, but the odds of winning the 8 matches is about 1 in 2 billion, basically. Statistically, maybe nobody will ever win the 40% prize split of the total prize pool, because the odds of winning are just insane. It's horrible, actually. So next, I asked ChatGPT, let's say the prize pool is 1.3 million, which it's kind of close. As you can see, it's getting there. It probably will be more than that by the time the prize drawing occurs. And let's say there are 50,000 tickets in play. Right now, there's about 43,000. So I would think there's probably going to be over 50,000 tickets in play. So these are rough numbers. This is speculation here. So can it determine how much Gala you would win, or the prize pools also? So this shows what the prize pools would be. That's correct. You can pretty much see that in the sweepstakes page. So that's not that important. This is the important information I want to share. So the odds of matching 3, if there's 50,000 tickets in play, 740 of those tickets would win a split of this, which means they would win 88 Gala. That's it. Not that much Gala. 53 tickets would win about 2,000 Gala. 2 tickets, statistically statistically, there might not be a winner for 5 matches. There might be more than 2 winners, but statistically, there would be 2 winning tickets that would win about 69,000 Gala. That would probably be a nice chunk of Gala to win. And as you can see right here, statistically, you would not have a winner, somebody who matches 6, 7, or 8 numbers. That's why it's saying it's a massive Gala reward. It's not actually this Gala reward if you were to actually get 6, 7, or 8 matches for this first prize drawing, but statistically you wouldn't see a winner. It would just be too rare to occur. And it also says that right here on the notes. So I did try to ask ChatGPT about a scenario where somebody played 1,000 tickets using those numbers that I described in that example. It didn't give me a number because I ran out of free usage from ChatGPT, but I did some quick maths, and statistically, if you played 1,000 tickets, you would match 3 numbers 15 times and match 4 numbers once. You would not match 5 numbers. Well, there would be a 1 in 25 chance that you would match 5 numbers, but statistically you wouldn't match 5, 6, or 7, or 8 numbers. If you do match those numbers that I said, you would earn 3,300 Gala. Well, 3,299 Gala to be precise, but you would have paid 10,000 Gala on the 1,000 tickets that you played. This doesn't even account for the amount of Gala that you would have had to burn to get those 1,000 tickets, which is another story. So basically what I'm trying to say is more than likely you are going to lose Gala participating in this. For that example, I guess there would be a 4% chance that you would maybe win 68,800 Gala, and that assumes there are 2 people that matched 5 numbers in 50,000 tickets played. This is a lot of math. I hope I'm not confusing people, but I did want to talk about the numbers. And the TLDR is that this is not worth it. It's gambling. There's a very, very low chance that you will make a profit. Statistically, you just will not make a profit even if you play a bunch of tickets. Finally, this is the first sweepstakes drawing. The prize is a little over 1 million Gala. Most of this, maybe half of it or a little over half of the Gala will get carried over to next week because statistically there won't be anybody who matches 6, 7, or 8 numbers, so those big percentages won't get claimed, only the small percentage splits, and that means the rest of the Gala will carry over to next week and so on and so forth. Over time, I would expect that this number gets bigger, and eventually that would cause more people to participate if that's the case, and eventually somebody may happen to win the jackpot, which is 40% or a split of the 40% of the prize pool, and there could be a bunch of Gala by that point if that ever happens. It's gambling at the end of the day. I personally don't like these type of systems, but here we are. Now the last thing to think about is this a good thing or a bad thing? Well, on the bright side, it will cause more people to burn Gala, which is actually good for the Gala economy. The more Gala that gets burnt, the more Gala that the founders nodes can print out, basically Gala out, Gala in. So it's good mostly for the founders node owners, so they can continue to get more Gala since the current supply of Gala can hopefully go down. It doesn't go down overall, it goes up, but this helps burn some of that Gala. There's a positive side. On the negative side, you'll have a bunch of people spending Gala because maybe they're addicted to these type of systems or maybe just informed when they participate. Well, that's going to be everything. It's kind of long, but I wanted to talk about everything I could. Do what you want to do with this information. Let me know in the comments what you think about the Epic Gala Sweepstakes, and are you going to be participating in this, and how many tickets are you planning to play? I would appreciate it if you liked the video, left a comment, subscribed if you haven't done so already. If you want to help support the channel, I have links in the description on how to do so. As always, I appreciate your support and thank you for watching.